Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be taking you step by step, giving you the detailed process of how to get a fire silk press. I did mine a few months ago, but I didn't record it, so I'm actually about to do my mom's. So I decided to record it for you guys. Me and her have such similar textures, so it'll be basically the same thing. But no more talking, let's get into the silk press. Okay, so this is what my mom's hair is looking like. It's been about 2 weeks since her last wash day. She's very low maintenance, natural, so you know at this point it's a little dry and it needs a lot of moisture. So I had her go in and wash her hair with the 𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗃 Thermal Smooth shampoo, and I also had her use the 𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗃 Moisture Fusion mask. And then on top of that, I had her apply the Olaplex No. 8 Bond Intense Moisture Mask. And that is just to make sure that her hair is nice and moisturized. And for heat protecting, I'm using the 𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗃 Thermal Strength Serum. And I'm going to actually apply a good amount of this because last time I silk pressed her hair, it was a little on the dry side. And that made it get frizzy because when your hair is dry, it kind of looks for moisture in the air. And that's what causes that frizz. So I'm using a lot of moisturizing products because I want her hair to be nice and hydrated so it can stay straight. So I'm adding a lot of that, and it's also going to help protect her curls to make sure that her curls pop back. After I apply the serum, I separate her hair into 4 different sections and start detangling each section with my paddle brush just to make sure that the product is nice and worked through. And for some additional heat protecting, I'm going to go in with the Silk Elements Mega Silk Heat Protecting Spray. And to blow dry, I'm using the Affinity Pro Conair blow dryer, and this one is from their Natural Textures line, so it's specifically for curly hair. And I just use the tension method with the concentration nozzle to try and get the hair as straight as possible that way, and then go in with the paddle brush and blow dry that way. Your blow dry technique is super important because you want to try and get your hair as straight as possible before you go in with high heat with the flat iron. And I'm still working on my technique, but I think it's gotten a lot better. You just want to try and get close to the roots and make sure you drag it all the way to those ends so the hair is nice and straight.
Hey, told me about all your insecurities for what? Drag me like 2 hours to your family's house for what? Said you need some time, but I should stick around for.
Once her hair is nice and blown out, I take a large section from the back and then split that into smaller sections. And small sections are key when you are flat ironing. You cannot go in with no bulky sections and think you're about to get a nice silk press. It's just not gonna happen. So I'm taking my rat tail comb, separating that back section into 2, and then I'm going to be using the Affinity Pro Conair 1-inch flat iron. Everything is going to be linked down in the description box, so make sure you check that out. But I'm using the chase method with my rat tail comb to make sure that the hair is nice and smooth, and only one pass is needed when you are doing this. And as far as heat settings, this flat iron goes up to 455 degrees, and I have it currently on about 430 degrees, I believe, because the dial goes up to 30 and I have it on 25, so whatever that is. And hair usually burns around 450 degrees, so I try and keep it underneath that. And we're just going in small sections with the rat tail comb to make sure everything is nice and smooth.
You wanna get with me, stop it.
When I get to the front of her hair, I try and get as close to the root as possible just to try and lay those edges. And that's why it's important for me to use a smaller flat iron as opposed to one that's over 1 inch, so I can try and get as close to those curlies as possible. And so far her hair is looking really good. I'm really happy with how straight it is getting. And once everything is done, it's my favorite part. It is time to trim. Now my mom actually wanted me to trim a lot of her hair off. She doesn't get trims very often. She doesn't go to like a natural hair salon or anything like that. She's like me, a DIYer. That's where I get it from. So she wanted me to give her a good cut. So that's why I went in and cut as much as I did off. And she also has a lot of split ends. You can't really see it in the video, but like I said, my mom is very low maintenance when it comes to her natural hair, and that can kind of cause some damage, some breakage. So that's why I went in and cut as much as I did off. I don't want to hear nothing in the comments, but the result was her hair looking a lot more healthy, and it had a lot more movement, and that is very important. You want to make sure that your hair is healthy, because healthy hair moves and it has body and it has life. If your hair doesn't have body or life, either one, it's not as healthy as you think it is, or two, you weighed it down with too many products. So as you can see, not only did I cut the bottom of her hair, I'm going in and making sure that I get the top layers that aren't long enough to come all the way down to the end, lifting those up and then giving those a little trim. You got something real, not basic. You wanna get with me, stop. Now it's time for my second favorite part, curls. So I just take rough sections and like medium-sized sections and curl them using the flat iron. I have the heat much lower here because it's not really necessary to have high heat to give the hair curl, especially once it's already straight. So you can see me just going in and I'm curling the hair away from the face. And yes, I'm still perfecting this as well, but I feel like the end result was really good. So yeah, just flipping it. You can see the wrist work. You got to get your wrist technique up, and like I said, I'm making sure that I curl away from the face on each side. Got me too excited. Yeah. Now usually when you go to a salon, they would wrap your hair for a quick second, kind of like set it with some cool air under a dryer, but I didn't really have time for all that, so I just went ahead and brushed and combed the curls out, and this is my favorite. Look at the body, look at the material. Her hair is nice and bouncy and just full of life. I don't know, it's something about the curls. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments. Do you like your hair pinned straight, or do you like to add a curl to the ends? For me, this is my absolute favorite. So the next morning I came over to unwrap her hair just to make sure that everything was laid perfectly. And last thing I'm going to do is go in with some edge control, and I'm using the Curls Hair Under There collection just to smooth her edges a little bit. And this was the final result. She was so in love. How you feel, Mom?
Feel good. Feel beautiful.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and also make sure you subscribe to my channel so you do not miss a post. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Mwah.